Well, hello. Welcome everybody to our live stream tonight on this Wednesday night, and we're grateful that you're here. And I know that you're going to be blessed tonight as we're sharing with you. And as you come in tonight, please let me know where you're coming in from, where you're watching us from as we're streaming tonight. I'm really enjoying these Wednesday nights as we are sharing with you every Wednesday night. And it is just so overwhelming to receive so many emails and messages concerning those that are looking at the broadcast every Wednesday night and being blessed, and then those that go back and look at the rebroadcast. It's just a blessing to have you to be a part of what's going on and what we're doing. And so we're grateful for you joining us tonight. And again, as you come in, please let me know where you're watching from. And we are going to get started shortly in a little while, and we're going to be sharing with you very shortly. And I know that it's going to bless you. So as you're coming in tonight, again, please let me know where you are coming in from, where you're watching me from. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you tonight to share with someone tonight the broadcast. Just tap the button and share it with somebody as you're coming in. Tonight is going to be a very special ministry. The ministry of the Evangelist tonight is going to be very special as we're going to be dealing with social media. We're going to be talking about some things about social media, and I believe it's going to bless you. And so I want you to, as you come in, just come in and let's get started in a little while. I promise not to hold you long tonight. But again, I'm so encouraged by those that have shared each Wednesday night. Some have went and watched the rebroadcast, and oh my God, I've just been so overwhelmed by the comments. I was out eating today, or going to get something to eat, and ran into a young man that said to me, I saw your video. And I asked him, which video did you see? He said, I saw the video of you talking about Evangelist and the ministry of the Evangelist. Now understand, he is a pastor's son, and he's been in and out of church a little bit, but he's in church now. But he said, I stopped to watch you talk about the ministry of the Evangelist, and I was blessed. And he said, you were telling the truth. And so this is what this is all about, to help somebody, to inspire somebody, to encourage somebody as you are going forth in the ministry and doing the work of an evangelist. So as you come in again tonight, please let me know where you're watching from tonight. And I'm going to be sharing in just a little while. Subscribe to me, share with somebody tonight this broadcast, especially those that may be evangelists, those that are trying to get started in ministry, those that are starting in ministry. Please let them know and share with them so they'll be able to tune in on tonight. And tonight I've got a very special thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this tonight. I'm going to give away 2 T-shirts tonight before at the end of the broadcast. So you got to stay all the way through. Here's the stipulations. You have to stay all the way through to the end, but you've got to make a comment in the comment section so I'll know you're here. And so if you are here and I have not seen you, but in order for me to know you're here, you've got to put here, I'm here, in the comment section, and you may be one of the ones that receive the T-shirt tonight by the end of this live broadcast. But you've got to put I'm here in there if I have not seen you. I'm going to be sharing with you and giving away, again, T-shirts tonight. This is a T-shirt that has been done. I was preaching the other week, and this is a T-shirt that they're doing, above only T-shirt. And so I'm giving 2 of them away tonight. I've got those that we'll be sharing with you. So I want you to, you got to put I'm here, and maybe even put where you're from. But by the end of the broadcast, we're going to make sure that I'm going to pick 2 people that receive the T-shirts on tonight. And so you've got to make sure, again, that when if you're here now, so I'll know you're here, you've got to say I'm here, and you'll be able to receive the T-shirt at the end. You've got to stay all the way through. I'm giving away 2 of them tonight, above only. And I know it's going to bless you. I want to thank you for tuning in and those of you that are here. And we're going to get started. We're not going to be long and hold everything tonight. But again, we're giving away 2 t-shirts at the end. You got to stay all the way through. And we're going to pick somebody tonight that will receive the t-shirts on tonight. Well, tonight we're going to talk about the 5 advantages and disadvantages of social media. And so I want to share with you tonight, and I know it's going to bless someone. And I want to make sure that as we're getting started, I think most of you can hear me tonight. And certainly if you can, just send me some thumbs up or something and let me know that you can actually hear me loud and clear. And we're going to get started and be a blessing tonight sharing concerning social media. I believe it's important for us to understand the times that we live in and the areas that we live in and what's going on today with social media. Remember, today social media is a part of our everyday life. It seems though we can't live without it. We can't live with it or without it. It's just social media. I remember when I first got started in ministry, we used to do radio and flyers in order to promote ministry. But now over the years, we've seen social media has evolved to where it is, and it's a normal part of life today. There's not too many places you can go without seeing the impact of social media. And I remember, many of you probably remember also, when the internet and social media and the World Wide Web first came out, we were dealing with AOL. And then we went to MySpace. And then eventually we end up with Facebook and YouTube. I don't even know if MySpace still exists. I know they still have AOL as far as email, but we used to sign on and see the little man running across the screen trying to connect. And there was a time that you paid for it. It was free, and then you had to pay for it, and you were trying to make sure you didn't use up all your minutes. And so we've come a long way from AOL. We've come a long way from MySpace. That's how we used to promote ministry. That's how we used to do ministry. And so we've come a long way from that. And so today, in all the things that we have Facebook, YouTube, and the various things. And in all of these things, there is an advantage and there's a disadvantage when we use social media. And tonight I want to just share with you as an evangelist, and I'm sure to help somebody that may not be an evangelist also, but I want to share with you, and I'm not going to be long with this, but I want to share with you the advantages and the disadvantages of social media. And so let's get right into it, sharing with you tonight. Number one, we want to talk about the advantages of social media. There are great advantages to using social media, whether you're an evangelist, a pastor, whether you're a singer or whoever. There's a great advantage to social media. One of the things, and number one, the first thing, the advantage of using social media as an evangelist is the cost of social media. The cost of social media is a great advantage because it's a word that I love. It's a word that I love when it comes to social media, and that is free. Yes, free. Social media is free. You have the ability with social media to go live anywhere at any time. You can go live with your phone. You can go live by sitting at your computer. You can go live. You can go live. You can post your thoughts. You can post flyers. You can post videos. So it's free. You have the ability to sign on and to be able to reach people just by being on social media. It's not a cost. And so when you think of it, that is a great advantage. Those of us that have done TV in the past in our local state, we would find that production, we had to do more than just sign on. You had to do the broadcast, and then you had to go into post-production and production, and you had to get somebody to edit the video and fix the video and put tiling on the video, and then you had to kick it out, and then someone had to deliver it to the TV station, and you had to have all the specs right, and then they had to play it and all of that, and then you had to pay for the time. It wasn't free. You had to pay for it, whether it was sometimes it could be $300 or $400, sometimes it could be thousands of dollars. But even with doing spots and 30-second spots and this, you had to pay for it. But now we have social media, which is free. Social media is free. So that's a great advantage for those of you that are trying to get started and want to get started in ministry as an evangelist, even if you're starting a church or whatever. The cost of social media is free. You can use social media. So that's a great advantage. The next advantage of social media is people will get to experience your ministry who otherwise would never hear or know who you are. You can be on social media and people will literally get to know you around the world. You know, if you're local, just think about it. If you're local here in just Atlanta, I'm local here, but I've done some television outside of the city. But now with social media, I have people, matter of fact, I had someone that just said to me, I'm joining you from Inglewood, California. I see someone joining me from Jacksonville, Florida, which means I'm sitting here in the ATL and someone is watching me all the way in California, which is a 3-hour difference from here and 3,000 miles from here. So notice that people get to experience your ministry, get to experience what you have, whether you post a post, whether it's a video, whether it's a flyer, they get to see you and they get to experience your ministry because of social media. So that's important for us to understand that that's a great advantage that we had. Many that were before us, that came before us as preachers and great evangelists, if they would have had this technology years ago, oh my God, what kind of ministry could they have done? So we have a great advantage with social media. So I want you to understand that this is a great advantage when it talks about people experiencing our ministries that otherwise would never know of us. There are people that we know of today that we go to hear today that we didn't hear anything about them until social media. We heard nothing about them. We never knew who they were. Social media caused us to become exposed to their ministry. And now they have followings and other people follow them. And that's because of social media. So understand that people will experience. That's a great advantage. Number 3, and I'm going through these, social media will help you to build a brand for your ministry, whether it's a logo, whether it's a video presentation, whatever it is. Social media gives you that opportunity to brand yourself. It gives you that opportunity for people when they see things, whether it's a logo, whether it's a video, whether it's a flyer, when they see certain things, they know automatically that that is connected to you. That is something that's connected to you. The ministry that I deal with at church, our church is Restoration Revival Church of God in Christ. And our thing is RRC. And our thing is restoration. Our password, we call it restoration. So when people see that, when they see RRC, they connect it to our church or they connect it to me. Why? Because it's a way of branding. So social media has opened that up. And so when you understand that, you have to take advantage of what is being presented to you by way of social media. It's a great way to brand your ministry, to brand yourself, to brand your church. Even if you have a singing career, it's a great way to brand. And so you take advantage of social media when it comes to that. And especially as an evangelist, this is the day that you should take advantage of those things. And so I want you to understand that this is a good thing for us to brand ourselves. Then number 4, on social media, another advantage of social media is you can share videos and flyers of your ministry that millions can see within minutes or hours or days. And I want you to remember that. I want to reemphasize that. You can share video, a flyer, to millions that they can see within minutes, hours, or days. You know, when you think about it, when you think of email has somewhat replaced a snail mail, as we called it, when you had to send letters out, and you had to get letters. If you were sending letters out for ministry, you had to send all these letters out and get them out, and you had to bundle them and send them as bulk mail and bulk rate. But then email came along, and what did it do? Now you can send emails out to everybody that has an email address. You can send it out to 300 or 400 people at a time because they've got email. And even though people still use mail, email has sort of replaced it, because you can sit down and really get an email out. If you want to get an email out, when people ask me to come for invitations, they used to send me an official invitation letter in the mail. Now they email it to me. I open it up and it's right there. Sometimes they may talk to me at 1, and by 1:10, I've got the email already. And so you're able to send pictures and stuff that way. Then you talk about them seeing it. Understand that TV versus social media. Now, this is the advantage you have with social media. TV is a thing that if you look at television, if you've got a broadcast on TV and people are not home and they're not watching it on their phone, then they miss you. If your broadcast comes on at 8 and then they're not home at 8, and then if they don't record it, then they miss your broadcast. But social media, if you go live on social media, if you post a video on social media, it's there, and people can still look at your video not only hours, days, but sometimes years later. They can still watch your video. If you notice on, I think it's Facebook, they have a thing where they do thing of memory, and they'll post a little thing and only you can see it unless you share it, and it says that we're sharing with you a memory from a year ago. Now you would understand that there's some people that even find it and share it. There's some of us that share other people's video, and some people think it may be recent, and sometimes the video is 3 or 4 years old. Why? Because that video stays there. That's why when you are live streaming, don't ever get caught up in how many people are watching the live stream. The main thing is to get the stream, get it done, and then there are people that will watch the rebroadcast of your live stream. You may have 10 people watching your live stream, but at the end of the day, you may have 2,000 or 3,000 or more that watch the rebroadcast. And so understand, don't get discouraged if you're doing social media and it seems like no one's getting it, or no one's, putting a like to it or whatever. Don't worry about that. Just keep on doing what you're doing, because people are receiving, they're getting your information, they're seeing your ministry, you're posting it. Today, when you post a flyer, people get to see that right away, and people come because of what they see. They look at the flyer, and you can advertise the whole meeting just by the flyer. You don't have to send it in the mail. You don't have to do. It's so many advantages to social media when it comes to this, and so we have to take advantage of this in social media. The next thing, and the fifth thing of the advantage of social media, is it helps people to put a face with a voice. It helps people to put a face with a voice. Now understand, years ago we did radio, but when you did radio, people, unless they heard your voice, they would not know who you were, even if they were sitting right in the restaurant next to you. Even if they were in the store and saw you, unless they heard you talk, they would not know who you are. I never forget, years ago, a lady had a flat tire, and I went, I think it was a battery went there, and I went to get some jumper cables to help her. And when I got back, the lady said to me, she said, "Are you Evangelist Dennis Martin?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, I know who you are. I didn't recognize you." She said, "But my daughter recognized your voice." And she said, "I know his voice anywhere." I was calling 911, I believe it was, for information years ago. And the lady on the other end, she says, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." She said, "Are you Dennis Martin?" I said, "I am." She said, "I knew it was you. I know your voice anywhere." But understand, there's some people that know your voice. So when we did radio, people knew your voice. But now understand, when people can associate and put a face with a voice, then it puts a whole different spin on everything that you're doing, because they can associate your face with your voice. And I've had that experience many times where people have associated my face because they've seen it on social media or on television. They associate my face, the name, and the voice. And so when they see me, they say, I know who he is. When I was going through TSA to go to get on a flight, a lady that was checking my ID, she stopped. She says, "You're Pastor Martin." I said, "Yeah." She said, I saw you on TV or social media. I was in the store the other day, and the young man stopped me, and I don't know if he was deaf or whatever, but he wrote on a piece of paper my last name, Martin. And he pointed at me, and I said, "Yes, that's me." And then he wrote down who he was and how he knew who I was. And I was going to court to turn in some paperwork. And as I was going through the checkpoint, the deputy sheriff said to me, "I'm watching you." And I was like, "Oh my God, did I do something wrong?" And I looked up, and he said, "Oh, no, you're not in trouble." He said, "I watch you on TV, I watch you on social media." So understand, when people can associate a face with a voice and with a name, then you have really gotten to a place that social media has begun to help you. I walk through the stores many times and people say, "You're Pastor Martin," or someone just stopped me and said, "You're Pastor Martin, I watch your videos. I enjoy your videos." Why? Because social media has put my name and face in the on cell phones, on iPads, on Android phones, on computer screens. And so people associate my face and my name and my voice. So now I'm taking advantage of that, and people see me and they know who I am. Not that I'm trying to do that, but it's just the advantage of what comes with social media. And so I want you to understand that it is very important for us to understand that. Now, before I get to the next one, let's not forget again, I'm going to be doing a giveaway tonight of 2 t-shirts. And if you want to be a part of receiving one tonight, as I picked the person that will get it, please type in "I'm here." And while I'm going through this, make some comments, put some love, give me some love, some thumbs, some hearts. And I'm going to pick someone tonight, and you're going to receive. I'm going to make sure we get it in the mail to you. All right, let's go to the disadvantages of social media. So now there are advantages of social media and there are disadvantages of social media. There are things that we have to look at when it comes to social media to understand that there are the advantages of it, and then there's the disadvantages of it. And we have to have balance. One thing that I preach at church and I believe, and that is we must have balance. You've got to have balance in whatever you're doing. Sometimes we lean so far to the right that we forget to come back to the middle, or we lean so far to the left that we forget to come back to the middle, and to have balance in our lives. And that is something that we really must have, and that is balance. And if you believe in balance, you've got to balance your life. And so you just can't deal with all that is just the positive, but you got to deal with the other stuff that may be the disadvantage also. And so as there are advantages to social media for the evangelist, there's also disadvantages. And I want to talk to you about the disadvantages tonight. Oh, I see your love. Thank you. I want to talk to you about the disadvantages tonight. Well, let's get into this. And I pray that you would, share this with someone, because I know that there's someone that needs to hear this and someone is going to be blessed. Well, number one, the disadvantages of social media is social media, even though we use it, you have to remember that social media is not your friend. Even though we use social media, you have to remember that social media itself is not your friend. And what I mean by that is sometimes the people that are on social media or use social media, because you're posting and you feel that everyone loves you and everyone's going to be responding to you, understand that social media is not your friend. Social media is not as friendly as maybe people you know and you see in person. Social media is not your friend. No. Other people posting videos or screenshots of you, You never know what their intentions or motives are as they are doing things and watching your videos. Some people are just there to see what they can pick out and what negative they can get from it. So you got to understand that social media is not your friend. You got to deal with social media like social media is. And you got to understand that everybody is not on social media for the blessing. Everyone's not on social media to enjoy your ministry. No, social media is not your friend. And once you understand that, then you'll know how to go about doing social media and how to deal with social media to understand that social media is not your friend. And I want to help you understand that tonight. It is not your friend. No, I know you got friends and you may have friends on social media, but everybody on social media is not your friends. There are some people on social media. Their purpose of being on social media is to disrupt your life, mess up things, and bother you. And you have to understand that. That's why when you make a post, you need to pay attention to your post. You need to pay attention to who's on your page, what they say, the comments they make, because sometimes you think people are your friends and they're not. That's why everybody videotaping you, if you're ministering, singing or whatever, don't think everyone that's videotaping you and posting stuff is doing it because they like you. Sometimes they do it for a purpose of doing it to make mockery of you or something that you're doing. So you have to be careful of that because it is not something people do. It's not your friend. Number two, now moving on. I pray and trust you're getting some out of this. If you are, please let me know. Give me some heart, some love, and let me know. I really want you to be blessed by this tonight. Number two, the temptation to post and say more than you should and hurt yourself along with your name. There's a temptation with social media. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a spirit or what. And this is with Evangelist and everyone else that I'm watching. We've got there's a temptation to just post and say too much to hurt ourselves. The Bible in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 teaches us, it tells us to study to be quiet and to do your own business. Did you not know that just because it comes to your mind don't mean you're supposed to post it? Just because you think about it don't mean you're supposed to say it. Don't mean you're supposed to go live with a video. Don't mean you're supposed to go live and talk about it. Don't mean you're supposed to post a long, drawn out book that we're reading. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. Oh my God, no way. You can't get on social media and say whatever you come to mind, whatever you think you want to say. That's the disadvantage today of social media. So many people are hurting themselves, evangelists, pastors, and everyone else, because they don't understand that everybody on social media is not saved, first of all. Then everybody on social media don't care for you like you think they do. That's second. And you posting, you putting out your feelings, how you feel, and you hurt, and you're telling folk off. Well, that's the disadvantage of social media. Don't do that. You got to learn to be quiet. Everything is not to be posted on social media. Everything is not to be shared on social media. Just because you want to say it don't mean you should say it. Just because it came to your mind, you woke up or you were walking through the house in the middle of the day and you decided to grab your phone and make a post, and you're wondering sometimes why you're not getting invitations or why people are not inviting you to certain things, because you got to understand other people are reading your post also. So you cannot, and I say it again, you cannot say whatever you want to say and have that temptation just to get on and just go off on social media. It's important for you to understand what the purpose of social media, and don't let that be the disadvantage to you where you are tempted to do that. I've seen so many people, and I read posts all the time. I see so many people that get on and they just go talking about stuff. And I say to myself, oh my God, do they really understand that this is a disadvantage to them? Because it really allows people into areas that they shouldn't be in. Whenever you make public posts and then you get upset because people turn around and make public comments, well, you open that door for public comments by your public posts. If you don't want people to comment on what you're doing or talking about, then keep it to yourself. if you don't want them to do it. Keep it to yourself and you won't have that issue. But you got to understand, you cannot just get on social media and go on these rants and these things and just think that that's not good. That's a disadvantage. You don't do that. Every time when I get ready to post something, I think about it, and sometimes I re-edit it more and more and keep on working on it, because I don't want my post to become a disadvantage. I want it to be a blessing, but I don't want it to be something that comes against me because I didn't have sense enough how to deal with the post. All right. Next thing, number 3. I'm getting there, y'all. I pray and trust you're getting it. Number 3 is this. There is the possibility of overexposure. Always posting and doing videos and just trying to be seen. Sometimes you need to take a break. I know the Lord speaks to all of us, and he speaks to us. But let me tell you something. He may speak to you, but he's not speaking to you to be on social media, always posting, always doing videos, always making comments, always saying stuff just so you can be seen and thinking, well, if I do this, I'm going to build an audience. Sometimes that can be a disadvantage. My grandmother used to say, don't wear out your welcome. Sometimes it can be a disadvantage because sometimes you can say so much that people can actually get sick of hearing you. They can get tired of hearing you because we on there so much. It's overexposure. So there's a disadvantage if you always on here, just overexposed. I mean, if y'all remember when Periscope first came out, people were on Periscope 7 and 8 times a day. Didn't have nothing to say. They just, I'm in the garden. I'm climbing up the wall. It was just, and sometimes when you got a notification, you didn't even look at it because you're like, oh my God, what they doing now? And the same way on other platforms of social media, you can have overexposure where you just, everything, there's some things you don't have to tell everybody you're doing. You don't have to go live to tell them I'm doing my nails. You don't have to go live to tell them I'm doing my hair now. You don't have to go live to tell them, well, right now I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to look at this steak. I mean, that's okay, but we don't want to hear that every day. And then you turn around and want to use it for ministry purposes. Well, sometimes you've already overexposed yourself in other things. And sometimes people don't take you serious when it comes to ministry and things because you've moved over into so many other areas that people really don't take you serious. They really think, they just, so you got to understand you can't overexpose yourself. You're doing too much. Okay? Too much. You gotta chill. Don't overexpose. It's okay to be on here, but my God, don't be on here every day. There are days I take breaks. You may not get a post from me for 2 or 3 days. I'm on here watching others, but I'm not saying anything. And then if I get some, I'll put it out. But just to overexpose, that's why I do this on Wednesday nights, and the other nights I may do something else, pop in for a minute and pop back out. But I reserve this for Wednesday night at this time slot, so I won't be on every day because you would probably get sick of me every day talking about from Monday through Sunday, every day at 7:30, something about evangelism. I may run out of stuff to even share with you if I'm on that long. So pick a time where people can know you're consistent, but not where you just on there saying stuff and doing stuff just to see how many people are going to follow you and doing that stuff. We got to do better than that, all right? Okay, let me move on. Number 4 is the disadvantage. It's possible to hurt your brand on social media. Don't fool yourself. There's some things you can do. And I know sometimes we can feel that we've gotten to a certain level and nothing will hurt us. But today, my friend, understand that social media can make you popular. And also social media can kill you. It can kill your brand. It can kill what people think about you. I don't care how much they like you. Some people will stop following you. They'll stop being a part of your ministry because you can get on here and don't understand the power of social media. We understand God takes you places, but there's the power of social media that we have to deal with. And you can kill your brand. You can kill and hurt your brand by what you do. So you got to be mindful of what you're doing in that area. Number 5, and I'm moving on here. I'm going to get through this. Number 5, we've got to putting something out that will not represent your actual ministry. Remember that first impressions are lasting impressions. And so when you're doing social media, understand that if you don't know how to do it, find somebody that knows how to do it, me or somebody else that does videos or whatever, that can do you a spot or whatever. Find you somebody that knows how to do graphics and do you a nice flyer. If you're getting ready to do something, you got to pay for it, but it'll be worth the money that you have to put into it. But understand, first impressions are lasting impressions. And so you want the people to understand and see your ministry for what it is. That's why it's not always good to have people to tape and sitting in service just videotaping you as you doing something, because you don't know what light that's going to put you out in the public opinion and when in the public. So you have to watch how you allow people to put you out there. There's sometimes, you just don't want people videotaping you. I know there's certain artists that say don't videotape. There's certain churches you go to, they don't allow you to videotape. They don't allow you to put, come in their service and hold up your phone and live stream while they preaching. They just don't allow it. If they say, if you want to get some, we'll sell you a DVD or sell your video. And they do that for the mere fact is that you have to understand, when you put yourself out there, you gotta, I know you know what you're doing, but don't go through no changes. If you don't know what you're doing and you want to put yourself out there on social media, find somebody that can put you out there that makes you look like $1 million. You understand what I'm saying? Put some money and let somebody put you out there that makes you look like you are better and got more than you got. You see, you don't have to have a great budget to do it. You just got to know somebody that knows what they're doing that can make you look good. And so that's what you have to do. Did you not know in some churches we see on TV, you think they got thousands of members. They don't have thousands of members. Some of them may not have but 200 members. But it's the way they broadcast. It's the way the camera angles. It's the way they present stuff. It's the way they do it that leaves an impression upon you. And sometimes you go to the church and you find the church is small, but when they present themselves, they look big. Why? Because they actually put out what they want to be put out. So I want to say to you as evangelists, as pastors and preachers, when you're doing stuff, find you a graphic artist that know how to do your nice flyer. Go get some updated pictures. Stop using these pictures that you had from 30 years ago and you don't look like that anymore. I just took some pictures that I've used. You can go on my thing and see some pictures. I just had my media guy, Brother Jerry, to take some pictures after church, and then I went in and masked the pictures and used them on advertisement. But go take some pictures. So when you see my picture, that's what I look like now. I'm not going back and put a picture on advertisement when I was 21, because I definitely don't look like that anymore. I don't look like that. I'm bigger than that. And so go get some up-to-date professional pictures done. Okay. Professional pictures done. Go get you some pictures taken that are professional. Get some people to take your pictures that are professional pictures. And, some pictures you can take with your cell phone. That's good. But get you some nice pictures that when people call you or when you're posting some, people can see you for who you really are and not just putting stuff out in a bad light. Go get some stuff done that helps you look like you want to look. Present yourself to the world the way you want to present yourself, not the way that somebody else wants to present you. And so I want to tell you to do that and do that. I pray and trust I'm helping somebody. Thank you so much. So everybody got that. That is funny, I know, but Send a couple of smiley faces up on that, because that is funny. People sending pictures that you can't do anything with. When I do layouts for people, the pictures and get some pictures done so they don't have to go pull them off the internet and pull the picture out that they can't use for print. I could get into that, but I won't get into that. But please do that, because you got to understand, it's just something that you got to do to help yourself. And I pray and trust that you get this. Somebody said this should make a good book. Yeah, I'm working on it. I tell you. Okay, here's number. Now, I said 5 things, but then 2 more came to me. And so let me run on these real quick, and this is going to help you. Number 6, when you post something, people can take what you post the wrong way and twist your words and damage your ministry. So understand, this is why when you're talking about TV and text messages, sometimes you can't allow people to even videotape you and stuff, because when they post stuff, people can take your post the wrong way. They can take something you say, they can take what was said out of context, and they can twist it and damage the ministry. Now, you remember, I think it was last year, what's the singer name? Y'all help me out. Oh God, I can't even, her name slipped my mind. That shows I'm getting a little old here, but somebody post the name and I'll know who I'm talking about in a minute. Kim Burrell, thank you. You remember Kim Burrell? Somebody taped her. She didn't make that post. She was in her own local church preaching and ministering, and I'm not, whatever, but she didn't do the post. Someone else was live streaming, and other people took it. And so we didn't hear the context of what she was talking about. All we know is that it was put out there. So you have to be able to understand that people can take your stuff and twist it. That's why when you put it out there, you need to understand the same way things can get lost in a text. Somebody can send you a text and you can read into it wrong. Or they can send you something you can say like, what do you mean? And then when you go back and read it, you be like, oh, okay, I got it now. So understand, when you post something, people, that's the disadvantage. People can twist your words. They can twist your stuff and come after you to damage ministry, to damage stuff. So there's a great disadvantage to social media, and we got to be able to deal with that. It is true. It is a fact, a great disadvantage to social media. Then understand, number 7, we're just about through, it can hurt your future opportunities. Social media can hurt your future opportunities. Same way it can give you a future, it can hurt your future opportunities. And what you've got to learn is not to sacrifice your future on the altar of the present. You've got to understand that you must, by all means, you must understand that it can hurt your future opportunities by something you post. I think I shared with you last week of a man that posted something. He was in the drive-thru ordering something from Chick-fil-A, and he made a negative video and he posted it. And his employee saw it. His employer saw it, and he lost his 6-figure job and end up his family selling his kids toys and stuff because the company said we don't want this type of employee. So he finally got through that, and I think he found another job about 1,000 miles away, and he was excited and getting ready to go and pack up and go get that job. But somebody on that job pulled the video up of him and saw the video, and they rescinded the job offer and said, you can't work for us either. And he said, I wished I never would have posted that video. You got to understand it can hurt your future opportunities if you're posting the wrong stuff, if you're posting videos that are wrong, if you're making comments that are wrong. There's sometimes people have their comments are great, but sometimes it's not worth me commenting on it because I don't have a dog in that fight. Plus, I don't ever want my leaders, and you should never want your leaders either, to feel that you're fighting leadership and that you're correcting leadership. You're trying to, I'm going to fight y'all. No, that's not the way to do it. Prayer is the way to get things done. And so you never want to just hurt your future opportunities, because this stuff, the way it stays online and the way people can pull it up years from now, it can hurt you 5 years from now. It can hurt you 6 years from now. It can hurt you next week if you keep posting it and it's the wrong stuff. So I want to share with you, please, by all means, understand that you cannot do that. And so you're going to have to understand that it can hurt your future opportunities. All right, here we go. So I'm coming to a close. So the question is, should we use social media? The answer is to use it, but keep your eyes on what you're posting and what people post on your social media platform. Always, I police my platforms, all of them, to find out what people are saying, what comments they're saying. And there have been people I have blocked and deleted because I just, that's not going to happen on my platform. If you build your own platform, you can say what you want on yours, but you can't say what you want on mine. There are advantages and disadvantages to social media, but you have the control over how it applies to you. You have the control over how it applies to you. And always remember this, as it comes to social media, you never know who's watching you, what you post, whether it's positive or negative. So before you post a video, make a comment, or do something, you got to ask yourself 3 questions before you do it, especially as an evangelist, especially as those that deal and those that are following and under leadership. You got to ask yourself 3 questions. And if you can answer these questions, then more than likely, you're going to be good when it comes to social media. First thing you got to ask yourself is, is this post or video necessary? Is it even necessary? Is it necessary for me to even make this post? Is it necessary for me to even make and put this video out? If it's not necessary, and you can come to that conclusion that it's not, then don't do it. If it's not necessary, why put it up if it's not necessary? Why put a post up? Why put a comment up when it's not necessary? Some things are not even necessary. You know, there's some things I see evangelists post and people, you evangelists, but you posting negative things about pastors, but you want to go preach for them. That's not even necessary. You're going to hurt your future. Because as a pastor, when I see you blasting another pastor, whatever experience you had with them, whether they did something with the money, whatever, you should talk to them personally. But when I see you doing that, I say to myself, I'm not going to invite you, because if I do something you don't like, you're going to blast me. And so I'm not going to invite you to come preach for me and you trying to kill other pastors and preachers. I don't do that. No. So you got to ask yourself, is this post even necessary? Is this video I'm about to post, is it necessary? Number 2, you got to say to yourself, is this post meant to bless someone, or is it meant to be controversial? Am I trying to build up controversy just to get a name, or am I trying to bless somebody? Why are you posting stuff just to cause controversy, just to see what kind of reaction and negative vibes you can get? You are a preacher. You are an evangelist. You're someone in ministry. So why do you do that? I know you say you're doing it in the name of the Lord. No, some of this foolishness we do it and it's off. And we just love to keep up foolishness because we're not trying to bless people. We're trying to keep up controversy. We're trying to be a person that's always, our name is always in controversial stuff. Stop that. Social media, you need to use that to bless people, because while you're keeping up stuff and asking, crazy questions and stuff and making crazy comments, you got to understand everybody on here is not saved. And there's some folk, we trying to get them to church and we can't get them to church because of the stuff you keep posting. I know you say, well, no, they don't go to church because they want to, but you ain't helping. You're not helping us. So stop trying to be controversial. Stop trying to be, I'm going to post this and I'm going to ask this question, and you ask some of the stuff that I hear people ask. I just look at it and shake my head and just keep on scrolling through, because I say to myself, I'm not even going to make a comment on it. Sometimes I don't even watch it. I'll make a comment on it because I say to myself, now mature people we're not going to deal with that. That now, immature folk that ain't got nothing better to do, y'all going to hang around and go through with that foolishness. But those of us that are mature, we're not going to hang around and go through with that foolishness. We're going to make comments. We've come too far to make comments on crazy stuff. And we're too seasoned for that. And did you not know when you do that, it lets people know where you are as far as spiritual, and it lets them know where you are if you are seasoned or not. It shows them your immaturity by stuff you post. Now, you don't have to take my word. People can judge you and see who you are by the stuff you post. They can tell whether you're mature, whether you're seasoned, or whether you're immature. So you have to watch the stuff that you're posting. All right, here I'm almost through, y'all. Here's the last one. Number 3, you got to ask yourself, will this post hurt me in the long run? Because understand, people will be able to pull your words back up, and they'll be able to deal with you according to your posts. Now, when you look at the president, President Trump, the 45th, he ran for president. That's true. But now understand, there's some things that he criticized other presidents about, and he tweeted about. Then you look over, and even though now he's the president, he doesn't want anyone to say anything negative about him. But now people are able to pull back his tweets back up from 3, 4, 5 years ago. And now that he's in office, what he does, he's doing some of the same things or worse. But when other people were in office, he was criticizing them because he had the power of the tweet. So you got to understand that people can always pull back up. Those of you watching this video right now, it's live. It'll once it's off, it'll go and you'll be able to pull it up. I've had people that's watched my videos and they comment on them, and I'm not even online. So this can be pulled up a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. And if I say something crazy, someone can always come back and say, well, Pastor Martin, this is what you said. And even though I can say, well, I didn't say that, they can pull that video up and say, no, here it is right here. You said that. So you got to understand what you saying. Will it hurt you in the long run? Why do you say that? So understand that there's advantages to social media, and then there are disadvantages. And if you're going to take advantage of social media as an evangelist, as a preacher, you've got to understand what it's for, and not take it and hurt yourself, not get it and put yourself in a bad light, a bad position. Take advantage to be a blessing to people. There are times that you might have to correct people, but I want to tell you something. All of us may be guilty of this. Social media is not the place to bring about correction. If you're going to correct people, this is some of the problems that I have with some people that I see here on social media. Whenever something is done, whether with a preacher or whoever, people get on social media and they really go through and he did this and she did that. And my thing is, if you don't know them, try to find out somebody else that knows them. Get an email address or something. And first of all, reach out to them, write them, text them, or call them and find out, tell you want to talk to them or whatever. And who knows, you talking to them, they may listen at you and hear you and said, I didn't even know that, or I'm glad you talked to me. But social media is not always the place to correct people. And if you are, as an evangelist, let me encourage you. Let me say this, and this is the last thing, we'll get his t-shirts away. Don't ever get on social media, and I don't care what experience you had, don't get on social media downing and throwing leaders under the bus. Reason I say that is because you never know where you're going to end up in life. You never know if you're going to end up being a pastor or a leader. And the stuff you criticize now, you never know when you're on the other side how you're going to deal with it. It was like a woman that I always tell the story of a lady in Philadelphia that they were raising an offering, and they were raising the offering. They said, we want to take another offering. And the lady was sitting there, and she said, every time I turn around, they're raising money. And she got loud. Here they go again, taking money. And she got so loud and just belligerent. And so when they got through taking the offering, they called her name and said, we heard that you got burnt out at your house, and we wanted to take an offering to be a blessing to you. Now, I have to admit to you, that couldn't have been me. Because more than likely, and I'm just saying, I'm being honest with you all, more than likely, she wouldn't have got that offering that day. Not in you sitting there doing the stuff you're doing. I probably wouldn't have gave it to her. So glad she had whoever she had. But now understand, you have to be careful when you get on social media dogging people out and dogging pastors out and stuff like that, because you never know if you're going to end up pastoring, and you never know who you're going to need before the deal go down. So learn to pray, learn to let's reach out to people and be kind to each other. Let's use this social media platform to bless others and not always to be critical. There's some things you don't even have to criticize. You just, when you see it, you know it's craziness. You know it's like, okay, that's to the left, so why are we even going to talk about it? We just, and the world is, I think sometimes we think the world is ignorant, but the world is a little more smarter than we give them credit for. Some of them did come up in church even though they don't go to church anymore. So they still really sort of know what's going on. And so we've got to take better advantage and do better when it comes to social media. I pray and trust you got blessed tonight. Thank you so much for hanging here with me and sharing with me tonight. Let's look, and tonight I'm going to give away these 2 T-shirts, and I'll tell you what I want you to do. I didn't tell you how I was going to give them away and what I was looking for, but I'm going through now, and I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for, and so I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for in giving them away tonight and who's going to get a T-shirt tonight. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Okay. Tonight, I am going to give away 2 T-shirts right now. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. The last name, first one I'm going to give away, the last name is Riley. I guess it's Riley, Riley, Riley. We're going to give you one tonight. So all you have to do is inbox me your information, what your size is, and I'm going to give you tonight. You're going to get a T-shirt. I'm going to send you one that I had that we were ministering above only. Can you see it? All right. I'm going to send it to you tonight, and you're going to get one tonight. So just inbox me your information, your size. I'm going to make sure that you get one tonight. Also, the next person, I'm not good at always pronouncing people's names, but let me look at this. I guess his name is it Scarlett Mannery? Is that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I may not be. Forgive me if I'm messing it up. Sometimes I do that. But please, I'm going to send you a shirt. Please inbox me here on Facebook, and I'm going to make sure that you get a shirt. Give me your size and everything, and we're going to send you a shirt above only T-shirt. It is a shirt that they've at my church, they've got the word and heard the word, and they start putting it out, and so they're going to make sure that we're going to make sure that you get one. Thank you so much. You all have been so kind tonight, and thank you so much for your comments and for the love that you've shown tonight. I appreciate you being here. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be dealing with how to make the transition between the full-time evangelist and pastor. Some people, they evangelists and pastors, some of them have to make the transition from a full-time pastor to from a full-time evangelist to a pastor. And, we're going to talk about that next week. I want to thank you. So again, make sure you send me your inbox information. Let me just give a few shout outs. while I'm here. Probably not everyone, but a few. I see Sister Betty here. See Brother Ellis here. Brother Salters. See, let's see who else. Ricky White. See Sandra Davis. See John Wesley Pace. I see Sister Terry here. Bishop Williams. Oh my God, let's see. See Brother Stanley, Brother Shepherd. Oh my God, I see Sister Brown here. And I saw my good friend and sister, Apostle Livingston here, amen, from Trenton, New Jersey, watching. And I tell you, Apostle Livingston, thank you so much. When I was a full-time evangelist, she would bring me twice a year to Trenton, New Jersey, and just let me preach all I wanted to at her church. And they would bless me, and I thank her so much. She dealt with some sickness and stuff, but she's back on her feet. And when I first met Evangelist Livingston, she still has one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a pacemaker. And she's one of the hardest preaching women that I'd ever heard. And I used to say to her, I said, oh my God, your pacemaker done kicked in. And so she's with us tonight, and we're blessed to have her with us. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. What a blessing it has been. I pray and trust that you received something tonight, that you got some from this teaching, and it is in my endeavor to help those that as we do this. Now, those of you that will watch the rebroadcast, make comments and let me know if this teaching is blessing you and helping you. Please go and subscribe. Please go to my website, dlmartin.org, and sign up to receive my videos and emails. Do it tonight while you're thinking about it. Don't hesitate. While you got it right there on your phone, on your computer, go to dlmartin.org. Sign up tonight so you can be a part and get video emails from me. And next Wednesday, I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again as we come back to share on the ministry of the evangelist and dealing with the transition from full-time evangelist to pastor. And I know it's going to bless you. Once again, pray for me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing tonight. I'm grateful to God, amen, that I had this opportunity to share with you. I pray that the Lord would bless you. Matter of fact, let us pray before we go, if you don't mind. I think that's a good thing to do. Father, we thank you, and I praise you for every person that's tuned in tonight. I pray that you would bless them and move for them. I pray for every evangelist, God, that's on the field, and everyone that's out in ministry, whether they're pastoring, evangelizing, whether they're full-time or whether they're local. I pray that you would touch them, give them what they need to do ministry. God, give them the wisdom that they need to do ministry. And God, even as we take on social media in this day, I pray, God, that you would give us what to say, what to do, how to do it, the platform to do it on, and to be a blessing to those that watch and those that receive. We pray that some soul would be saved, God, even as we post, as we put ministry to the forefront. We pray that you would bless people and cause them to know that it is a blessing and that you've given us favor. And we thank you and we give you glory and honor and praise right now. In Jesus' name, amen. I pray and trust that you are blessed. Don't forget, go to my website, dlmartin.org, or you can email me at rrcdmartin@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. God bless you, my friends. May God bless you, and may all God's best be yours.